Hey guys, so welcome back to another video, welcome to my channel if you haven't been to my channel yet. My name is Kylie Flum, and I'm sitting in my car, so if you hear any background noise, it's either the air conditioning going or the engine running. I am doing a little different setup for today's video, and it's taking place inside my future home. Yes, I am going to be moving into my car and traveling as much of the country as I can. That is the goal. So to get into that, this video is going to be about the travel plans that we have so far, and a little breakdown of how the whole car living situation is going to be working out. So let's get started. So my apologies, I do have to hold the camera because I haven't really figured out a place to record in the car yet. Gonna have to figure that one out, but for now it will have to do, so my apologies for any shakiness. Anyway, so to start off with our travel plans, our first plan is to meet Steven's mom and sister and her little daughter in Hayesville, North Carolina. So that's going to be our first stop. His mom rented out a cabin for about 4 days, starting August 15th and on. So we decided that we are going to leave a day before that. So we're driving from Florida, so it's about a 9-hour drive with traffic. Typically 9 hours, sometimes 10 hours if it's really bad traffic and with pit stops. But anyway, so we're going to be leaving on the 14th, get there a little bit earlier, explore before they get there, and then we will be staying in a cabin in Hayesville and kind of exploring that area with his family for 4 days. After they leave, we'll probably stay in North Carolina for at least another week, and then we are going to head to the Virginias. So we will be staying we will actually be house sitting, meeting up with my Aunt Jill and her husband, Zach, and we will be house sitting their house for roughly a week or so, but we're going to get there a little early to hang out with her and him, and then probably stay maybe a little bit afterwards to chill with them when they get back. They're leaving for a wedding on the 4th or 5th of September, so we will be heading towards that way and getting in the Virginias roughly around, I'm gonna have to get the exact address to their home, but roughly around probably the 1st or 2nd, and staying there for probably halfway into the month, maybe a little bit less. And then from there, we are going to be staying in the east. So we'll probably work our way up, just because we've seen everything below and we're going to be driving through those areas anyways to get to the Virginias. We're going to be staying in the east though until mid to late October. My brother is actually going to be graduating from boot camp, the Marines, October 18th, I believe. So I wanted to stay in this area so that I could be there to support him. So that's pretty exciting. So we kind of didn't want to have to backtrack and drive to the west and then drive back to the east. So that is our goal. So we'll probably, and he graduates on Paris Island, so we'll probably stay in the Virginias, maybe move our way up, not too far, and then come back down for his graduation. When it comes to places on the east, I definitely want to check out Philadelphia, Washington, New York, Maine, kind of pretty much everywhere, but those are definitely my top places. So even if we don't stay for super long right away until October, we definitely want to check those places out, or maybe at some point make our way back up when we have a little bit more time. But the whole goal of this is kind of not to have a massive plan. I kind of just want to be free with it, go with the flow. You know, if I really enjoy an area, we'll stay longer. If I don't, then we'll move on to the next one. If we don't, we'll move on to the next one. So, and I'm keeping in mind that all of this is going to depend on our budget. and kind of how long we can make our savings last after selling the van. So at this point in time, once we sell the van, we have several buyers, so we should be able to sell it before we leave. We will have enough to get us through about 6 months, and that's also not including any money coming in. So as soon as hopefully my business takes off, I will be making some income from that as well, and we'll also be picking up some oddball jobs throughout, but there will be a whole video on that later down the road as we continue to kind of figure everything out. But when it comes to traveling plans, that is our plan so far at this point in time. Again, it can change if we have any issues that come up. If we really enjoy an area and we kind of just want to hang there until October, that could possibly happen too. Like I said, I kind of really want to be free-spirited with all of this. It's not necessarily like we're doing it on the whim. I've wanted to do this for a long time now. It just so happened that the time is now. So we're heading off in a month, as I said, and we will kind of play it by ear from there. But I wanted to show you guys a few things that we have so far for the van and kind of what our setup is going to look like. Okay, so this is the inside of the car. It's the back seat. So I am going to be, so this is going to be our cooler. It fits perfectly behind the passenger seat. It's a pretty decent sized cooler. My grandparents actually gave it to us. I don't know if I can open it. So you can see it's a decent size. So we'll be filling this up with ice pretty frequently and holding the things that we need to keep cold, like our rice and beans that we'll be prepping. This is the front seat, so there's still a decent amount of leg space even with the cooler in. And then, so I won't have the driver's seat pushed back as far because behind this seat, we're not gonna have those bags there. We are going to have 2 5-gallon liters, 2 5-gallon water tanks or jugs, whatever you want to call them. They're gonna go there. And so our original plan was to, hold on, I'm doing this with one hand. Okay, sorry about that. So the original plan was to kind of put, this one comes down too, put this down this way. We would put something like a rolled up blanket or mat across this whole area so it would be flush with our back, and our legs would stick through here. We did test it out. There's plenty of space for us to be completely stretched out with Steven where I'm sitting now. But what I am thinking will be better, just because we didn't think about that if we sleep that way, is going to be taking up majority of our trunk space. So we figured, or I kind of came up with, because I heard some other people sleeping this way in their cars, that it would be better if I sleep just in the back with my legs. Let me show you. Let me show you guys. So if I sleep, which my head is against the window right now, but if I sleep more like this and I keep my feet like at an angle like this, I will be able to lay flat out against the back, and then Steven would lay across the front using the passenger and the driver's seat and just lying long ways that way. That way we would still have all of the space in the trunk, and it wouldn't conflict with any of this space either, because again, I would be lying flat. I would probably put like a cushion down over this, and then I would have a pillow behind my head. And so when it comes to covering up all the windows, we're thinking about either doing like some form of blackout curtain or getting Reflectix, like the, if you don't know what Reflectix is, it's the stuff you put in your windshield to kind of keep the sun from coming in. Getting that and cutting it to the size of each of the windows and then covering it with like a blackout type material, so then we can easily, and then putting either some like type of like magnet or double-sided tape or Velcro, and just having to pull them down in the mornings and then stick them back up at night when we are ready to go to sleep. So that's kind of the plan as of now. When it comes to food and cooking, we're going to be using a sterno stove, which we will only be able to cook with when we are in national parks or other parks where you can just pull out and start cooking. So we'll try to cook in mass amounts, our rice and beans. And then when it comes to vegetables, we'll be shopping kind of every 2 to 3 day basis and holding it in our cooler. Same with our almond milk, and we'll have a lot of dried goods in jars and containers. And once we kind of figure out the whole storage situation of exactly how we're going to organize everything in the trunk, I'll be sharing that with you guys. This is kind of the beginning of a journey, so we're gonna learn a lot, and I'm sure we'll add on or get more things that will convenience us as time goes by and as we see what we need, because everybody's different. Everybody's needs are going to be different in a situation like this. But I think that pretty much covers everything. Again, I will be sharing so much more with you guys as I go through the journey, and I will definitely be sharing more with you guys on like what I get, how we do the Reflectix window covers, and how we go about all this. We have pretty much exactly a month until we take off. So that's really exciting, and it's going to go by really fast. Thank you guys for tagging along with the journey and for all your support. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. Right now I'm sweating bullets, so I'm going to stop it here. Thanks guys. See you next time.